I just got back from the Zillow Premier Agent Forum in Vegas, so I'm going to give you an update on what happened there up next. What's going on, friends? Dylan Donaka here with the Buy Big Island video blog, and I just got back from Las Vegas where the Zillow Premier Agent Forum was held. And this is a big conference that they put together every year. This year, it was over 2,000 real estate agents from across the country. They come to this forum that Zillow puts on, and a lot of you guys follow me on Zillow. Zillow, if you don't know, is the largest real estate website in the country. Basically, it's a very easy user interface where people can search for property. And so a lot of people go onto Zillow to look for homes, and they sell real estate agents advertising. So we pay them to connect with the leads that are on their website looking for homes. So that's kind of to simplify what Zillow's about. And so they put this forum on, and Zillow constantly says that they're a technology company, not a real estate company. And so they put this forum on to talk about kind of the new trends, how they see the world changing, what they see for the future of real estate. And it's pretty interesting. So I've gone a couple of years now, and a lot of times they incorporate into the speakers some new advertising program that they use to sell us new advertising or different things like that. This year there wasn't too much of that, and actually they focused a lot on technology and how it's changing the economy and specifically real estate. And they also talked about trust and how trust is a big factor that technology is changing, and actually in a lot of ways for the better. And so on the technology front, a couple of real interesting takeaways I took from it was, first, they had a big discussion about artificial intelligence, AI, and how it's changing the economy and real estate and just kind of how we do business and how we live every day. And an interesting discussion on how it was described is the difference between what computers used to do and what they're doing now. And when humans first invented computers, the first thing that we did with them was to have them solve complex, hard problems that we couldn't do ourselves, like math. That was one of the first things we did, was invent calculators, right? That could then calculate complex math problems, which are hard for us to do ourselves. And now with artificial intelligence, one thing that's changing is we're using computers to do things that are pretty standard and pretty easy for us, instead of doing really hard and complex things. And we're seeing these new things that are being advertised, like Siri or Google Assistant actually booking, a haircut appointment for you a week from now, and the computer will actually call the barbershop and negotiate a time and then put it directly into your calendar, and you don't even have to do that. They'll actually speak for you, and it's becoming seamless where you can't even tell that it's a computer talking. And so there's that, and there's all kinds of other things that artificial intelligence encompasses, but that's a big change in the way that a lot of companies are viewing the way that they do business, the way that they analyze their customers, and the way that they advertise, the way that they reach out to folks. And so there's a lot changing in that realm of artificial intelligence. And one of the things that Zillow is using AI for is the Zestimate. And that's a thing a lot consumers love and realtors hate, is going on Zillow and seeing what they say your home is worth. And that's been developing over the years, where they take an algorithm and they aggregate data from comparable sales, and they give you an estimate as to what your home is worth. But you'll hear real estate agents always say, well, it can't be accurate because they don't know what the inside of the home looks like, and they don't know what the view looks like, and they don't know what the condition is, and they're just kind of estimating based on the neighborhood. And that's one of the things they're trying to solve, is using artificial intelligence to take the pictures that are inside the home and analyze those pictures and assign a value to condition and things like a view. If there's pictures of a view, in most cases, that's going to increase the value of a home, and they're going to use that information through artificial intelligence to feed into their algorithm, which will then produce a more accurate estimation of what a home is worth. And of course, it's never going to be perfect, but they're getting better at from a computer standpoint, estimating the value of a home. So interesting stuff going on there. And then that feeds into trust, and how the computers and how technology is changing the way we trust people, or the way we trust in the economy. And that's a very interesting thing, because nowadays there's things like Uber and Lyft, and there's a new company called Rover that's out there, where you can actually you can connect with somebody on your app to go walk your dog or go house sit your pet if for whatever reason you can't go home, or you're going on a trip and you need somebody. And they're connecting consumers with people who are willing to provide a service via technology, and in many cases, people are much more willing to trust that person than they were in previous years, when you'd want to meet somebody and know somebody and get a referral. And now, if you have a reputable technology company that connects you with somebody, there's an instant level of trust there. And there's also some accountability, right? If somebody does a bad job in online services, they get bad reviews, and then you wouldn't use them. And so there's a big change in the way we are interacting with people, and that also applies to real estate agents. If people see you online and you have a good online reputation, or you have a lot of good reviews, then people are more likely to trust you and work with you even though they've never met you. So it's really changing the way that we do business, and we got to interact with people online. It makes your online presence even more important. One of the reasons that we do these videos, right? So there's lots of stuff going on there, and that feeds into the on-demand economy, where consumers now are much more demanding of information right away and services right away, right? You can, from your phone, when I was in Vegas at any hotel, just request an Uber, and really within like 3 minutes, the driver would be there. I would get in and it'd take me to where I gotta go. Way more convenient, way cheaper than renting a car, going into a parking garage, paying for parking, or paying the valet. Overall, you could take 3 or 4 Ubers a day, and it will be less than if you rent a car. And it's on demand, right? Whenever you need it, you don't have to plan it, you just use it. Same thing with this company, Rover. There's a CEO at the forum that spoke about Rover. And if you need somebody to walk your dog in the next half an hour, you can go on your app, put the job in, and somebody will connect with you, and you give them entrance instructions to your home. They'll go in and put your dog on a leash and take your dog for a walk, and then report back, and then the money will be exchanged online. You never have to talk to the person. So it's really changing the economy, where there's a more of an on-demand factor. And one of the things they called it was the gig economy, right? You can work for gigs. You don't have to have a real job anymore. There was a real interesting stat where there are more Uber drivers in America than there are steel workers and coal miners put together, 2 huge industries, right? We think of that as 2 really big industries in America. There are like twice as many Uber drivers than both of those industries combined. And so it's really changing the way that we do business, and the way that we can employ ourselves through all of these different services that technology can help provide us to connect with people. There's another site called Upwork, if you've never used it. It's a freelancing website where you can connect with people who can do all kinds of things online. They can design you a logo, they can update your QuickBooks. I mean, really anything you can think of online, video editing, picture editing, anything you can think of. You can find somebody to do that work for you from all over the world, and you can look at their reviews, look at their past work. So it's a gig, right? You negotiate a prepaid cost, you give them the job, they do the job, you pay them, and then everybody's happy. So technology is really changing the way we do business, and the real estate industry has to change along with that. And there's a lot of resistance to change, there always is, but it's really interesting to hear about how all of these things are happening, and how real estate really has to, we as agents have to keep up with that stuff and be ready to shift into the new trends, because if not, we're going to be left behind. So that was the kind of the big takeaways. And then from the Zillow standpoint, the one of the interesting things that they left us with is they're actually changing their business model a little bit to get better about the service that the agents that advertise with them provide with their consumers that are on their website. And they're actually going to come up with an internal rating system where they review us, they survey our connections and clients that we meet online. And if we're not doing a good job, they're going to put us on probation. And if we don't fix ourselves and make ourselves better by increasing our level of service, they'll actually not allow you to advertise, which is a very interesting change in the business model, where normally they're trying to get as many people to give them money as possible. They're really going to, I think, shrink down the number of agents that they have advertising, and really focus on ones that are providing quality service and getting back to people. Because one of the stats that they really don't like is that less than 50% of consumers report being able to connect with the real estate agent that they reach out to online. And that just makes Zillow look bad, it makes us look bad, it makes everybody look bad. And so they want to eliminate the people who are not following up and doing the things that they need to do in order to connect with folks. And that'll be an interesting change in the Zillow advertising platform. So lots going on there. It's 3 days condensed into a couple of minutes here. So let me know if you guys had any questions, and be happy to respond. And again, thank you guys for watching the By Big Island video blog, and I'll see you guys next week. Aloha.